Hey guys, can you hear me? Happy New Year's Eve. 3G, Lori, Linda, Saritas, Beth, Julie Topaz. Hello. Riri, Rhonda, Pacola. Thanks everybody for being here. This is our New Year's Eve Stream-A-Thon. Mary just finished. I think she just finished. I was over there. Left about 5 minutes ago to set up. And then I'm on. And then throughout, excuse me, let me get my voice going. Throughout today and tomorrow, here is Mary's Google Doc if you want to get the list of everybody that's streaming all day today and all day tomorrow. So let's see, Miss Gigi, Lynn, Jersey, Nancy, Carla, Bissa, Molly, everybody coming in, Bethany. Thanks, everybody. See, I said hi to Molly. Anybody I missed? Cheryl, thanks, Arlene. Thanks, everybody. Kimberly, Little Gypsy, Terry L, Raquel, Dawn. It goes by really fast, guys. Terry L, Amanda, Masike, Juanita, She Spins, Scrap Girl 12, Michelle Plato, Bootsy. Hi, everybody. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Kimberly. So Lynette's the one that sent me a Hobby Lobby gift card. So I bought these gesso boards, which I've never used these before. So I've got 9x12 and an 8x10. I was going to do an 8x10 today, but I think I'm going to do the 9x12. And I'm going to give it away after we do it. I did go ahead and fussy cut some things out before before the stream so that we, since we only have 2 hours, and I usually stream, between 3 and 4. I wanted to try to get as much done as I could in the Collage project, mixed media project, and I want to do a giveaway. So I did kind of do a few things, previously. But regardless of if I finish or not, hi, Jason, Kalura, Debbie. Thanks, everybody. I know I'm missing Randy, Mina, Janice. Hi, guys. So, So we're going to work on these gesso boards, and the project I'd finish. I mean, however far we get toward the end of the show, we're going to do a giveaway, and I'll go over the rules of how the giveaways work when we get closer. Hi, Lady Jen. Good to see you. Shelly. Hey, Barry, nice to you. I haven't seen you in forever. And if you're the same Barry Nice, welcome back. Let's see. Yeah, Pacola saying hi to Quentin. Lady True North Jan. Okay. Let's see. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to work on this 9x12 board. I've already taken the plastic off of it. This is just the little, oh wait, no, that's not the one. Here it is. Took the plastic off of it. Now I've worked on hard boards before, but not these pre-gessoed masonites. So and the giveaway will be open to international. So even if it costs a little bit, it's New Year's. I'm going to do a giveaway for whoever wins it, whether it's international or not. So it's let me get the little paper here. It's a museum series panel, archivals, gesso board, and Ampersand is the one that puts it out. This one's a 9x12. They also have 8x10s, and they have other larger sizes too. But I wanted to make sure I did it something I could mail. But this was a little too little. I got a little bit bigger imagination today. So I am going to move the smaller one here. And I'm going to move this one because I did buy some extras. And thank you so much, Lynette, for that, so that we could do this on today's channel, on today's stream. And Happy New Year to the mods and the fibs. If y'all don't know, this is our yearly Friends in the Box, which is Fibs, Friends in the Box, Stream-A-Thon, which we've been doing for a lot of years. And Music Scrap Jean is the one that used to host it. She passed the reins over to Mary Autier this year. And again, let me post in here Mary's Google Doc. So if you want a list of all the streamers, hi Dot. If you want a list of all the streamers that come on all day today and all day tomorrow, there it is right there. And I will put the link again in the description box after the show. So if y'all have not seen me do collage, and if you've been here for any length of time, you have seen me do collage. I'm going to move my little pretty lights off to the side. I'm going to just jump right in here so we can get started. And let me see, it's a little dark right there. Let's see if I can lighten this up just a little. I do have my overhead. I have all the lights on that I can possibly have on without getting too many ring light reflections. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's brighten it up just a little. And hopefully, oh, I don't have any jewelry on. Let me at least put on a ring. I didn't put on any jewelry today. I'll at least put on a ring. My sleeves are pretty long today anyway, and I'll have to roll them up so they're out of my way. I was so busy watching Mary, I prepared. I set everything up at the last minute. Okay, so I'm going to use the gesso board. I did use most of the cutouts out of this Extraordinary Things to Cut Out and Collage. You can get this on Amazon, Mario Ribbons, and it's a book made for you to cut out and collage with. I did cut some things out. I did cut some things out before the show started. Hi, Nighthawk. Hi, Miss Nobody. I know I'm missing people coming in. I did cut them out, some stuff out anyway. I might have some more I need to cut out, but I did cut out most of it so that I don't have to spend time fussy cutting since we only have 2 hours. So I'll try to go over everything that I use. And hi, Suze, Randy. And so that's where I got a lot of the images, not all of them, but all the little tiny ones and things, except some of the little watch parts or, you know, like some of the little rocks or some of that, you know, but most of it I did get out of this, the little tiny things. Then the other thing, like I said, the gesso board, which where did I do with that? Here it is. I want to keep this handy. So this is the gesso board. I did get it at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure it's available at a lot of places, but that's where I got mine. I am going to do a landscape rather than a portrait shape. And let's see. So I just use craft paints, mostly deco art. I do have a couple folk arts in here, but it's just craft paint, and it's matte. It's matte craft paint. It's not gloss. It's not satin. It's not metallic. You can use any of those things, but if you do plan on doing any color pencil on top of your project, you need matte paint. And a lot of the artist grade acrylic paints have a sheen to them, and it's hard to color pencil over the top of them. So just FYI, I just use craft paint. This is what I always use in my collages when you see me do the collages. For glue and coating the first, layer. Oh, thank you, Trisha. Thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Thank you so much. If I miss anybody today, I'm trying to get this done. So don't let me miss anything like a super chat or super sticker go by. So thank you, Trisha. And anybody that does support the channel, I do send out a print and a thank you at the beginning of every month. So once a month, I make a print and I send out thank yous. So thank you, Trisha, for supporting the channel. I appreciate it so much. Yeah. Hi, Donna. I know I'm missing people coming in. Thank you all so much for being here. And again, don't forget, we will, this hop goes on since 6:30 this morning when Mary streamed for 2 hours. I'll be streaming for 2 hours. Most of the streamers stream for 2 hours. There's a couple that stream for 1 hour, and there's a couple of hour breaks tomorrow in between. But for the most part, there's streaming all day today and all day tomorrow. So nobody has an excuse not to get inspired or not be lonely. And so if y'all want to share during the stream, not New Year's resolutions. I don't do New Year's resolution. I do if something needs to be changed, you need to do it during the year. Don't wait till the New Year's. So if you need to change something about your life or your situation or something, and it's all at all possible for you to do so, you need to do it during the year, not a New Year's resolution. That being said, I would like to hear, what is your New Year project? What do you have? What kind of projects do you have gearing up for the new year? Do you have plans for the new year of what you want, kind of projects and art and craft, and what are you going to do in the new year? That's something that if you want to share with each other while I'm working, talk about, what you're doing. Like Nighthawk's working on a comic, Jason's working on artwork. I mean, there's a lot of people here, and I just point those two out because I just saw them scroll by. But if you have any projects that you want to share, only mods can put in links, but you can say, I've got a YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram. You can put your Instagram name in. So share with each other and what you plan on doing. Oh, Lady True North Jan, thank you so much for the Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice, that's coffee if y'all don't know. And thank you, Lady Jan, for the 5 Canadian. Thank you so much. And y'all are so sweet. That'll buy me some Beetlejuice, Lady True North Jan. And so share each other's links. Well, you can't put a direct link, but you can share each other's Society Idea Collector for Mary. Yeah, Mary was just, my gosh, if y'all missed it, I know there's streamers now for the next couple of days, but once you get done with all that, go back to Mary's show from, just previously here to mine. She went through all her journals. She made lists and project ideas and so much that she's going to be doing in the new year. So make sure you guys share with each other, not just here on my channel, but on other channels, as long as those people don't mind. I don't mind, as long as you're not here just to spam. Most everybody here are friends in the box. But, promote other people, thank the people that stream for you, give them thumbs up. And speaking of Mary, she is almost at 8,000 subbies. She doesn't put her sub count under her videos. I don't know why. She probably has said, but she did say she's almost at 8,000 subbies. So make sure and go sub to Mary to get her over 8,000. Let's see. Candace says, my plans are to do lots of coloring and get more comfy with paint. So yeah, so you guys, y'all got share what you are planning on doing this coming year. And while I'm working, because I'm gonna not be reading chat solidly while we're here, because I want to try to get this done in 2 hours. And Julie says 101 collages in the pre-prep, at least one thing glued on each page from comp book. Oh, okay. Yeah, the comp book project. Okay. Julie. And y'all follow each other on IG. If you want to, like I said, if you want to put your IG name in there, just say my IG is this, so people can follow you, and also go back and read the chat later and follow you. That's what I do. I go skim through the chat to see if there's new people I miss, which there always is new people and comments that I miss, because, I'm not just sitting there reading chat. I'm pretty good about reading it while I'm working, but I obviously don't read everyone. So share your New Year's projects, support Mary. And so I'm just kind of reading some of my notes here. Okay, so some of the other products that I use Golden Matte Medium. Now, you don't have to get this big of a jar, but Golden Matte Medium, it's not inexpensive, but nothing works like Golden Matte Medium, in my opinion, for collage, especially if you're doing mixed media collage in an art journal. As long as you let this dry completely, this will not stick your pages together. Your pages will not stick together with Golden Matte Medium as long as you let it dry 100%. Hi, Kathy Berg. So Kathy Berg and Colleen are coming up after me. So again, here is the, well, I know Picola and other people are posting the list too, but there is the Google Doc so you can follow everybody. And Mary does have links posted in that. So this is what I use for gluing my collages and coating, you know, the initial coating. But after it's completely done and dry, this is what I use for a varnish. Now, all my, like my abandoned places books and a lot of my collages and books are not varnished, just because I don't have time to do them all, and leave them out overnight to dry. But again, if you use this varnish, it's a water-based varnish. It's Ceram Coat, indoor, outdoor gloss varnish, and it's water-based. So your brushes or whatever you use will not, it's just, you can rinse it out with water. Now, when you do put this on something larger like this, use a foam brush, you know, the sponge brushes, use those, or your finger. I like to just, you know, move it with my finger, and of course, wash your hands, you know, pretty fast. But that way you don't get brush marks, because if you just use a regular brush to brush this on, you're going to leave brush marks. It usually levels off a good deal, but if you don't want any brush marks, I pour it on. It doesn't take a lot, and then I just kind of smooth it out with my finger and let it dry overnight. So those are the things that I'm using today. I'm looking around if y'all have any questions. Oh, and of course, my trusty heat gun, which is probably, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 25 years old. It's a Marvy Uchida. I don't know if they make this exact one anymore, and or the quality of this one, but there's a few of us that have this heat gun, and we all still have this heat gun. So there's that. Okay. The other thing that I do when I put down my golden matte medium, when I start gluing things down, is I use my old brushes. These are the only brushes that stay, and I probably should get one bigger one. They're the only brushes that I keep in water. No other brushes do I let set in water. But hang on, let me see which one I want here. This one. But these are the only brushes that I let sit in water, and they're crusty and yucky and all that. But I use them just for glue. I don't use them for paint or anything like that. Also, baby wipes. The baby wipes I use are Huggies Natural. There's no squishy, soapy aloe stuff in it. It's just Huggies Natural. And I do use these sometimes as a paintbrush, my fingers. And so this is what I use for gluing down. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour out, and put a baggie over the top of the lid of your matte medium so it does not glue the lid shut, because if you just try to put this on here and you even have one little drop of the matte medium on the lid, it will glue your lid shut. I know some people say they put Vaseline and this is just easy. I just throw a baggie on there and it works great. And, don't put out more than you're going to use, because it's not cheap. But, you can use coupons and stuff to save up for that. All right. Let's see. Any questions? Don't forget, put it in caps if you're talking to me. I won't think you're yelling at me. But again, I am going to try to be crack-a-lackin' and get this done. So I'm probably going to miss more comments than I normally do. But still put it in caps if you're talking to me, and Picola or Julie will let me know if there's something that is really important that I'm missing. Let's see. May, I said hi to Mina, little sister Cheryl, Trisha, Candy, Mel G. Hey, Mel G, good to see you. Oh, I think you're a different Mel G, because if you're in Minnesota, I think that's a different. My Mel G, the one I know, is in Florida, unless you moved. So, hi, Mel G. Let's see. Thank you to all the lurkers that are watching. Oh, let me go ahead and tweet real quick. So that will help promote all of us throughout the day. Let me go ahead and tweet. I never like to tweet till I'm actually on, because if there's any issues or anything. Let's see. 1 second. Give me 1 minute, guys. New Year. I don't even know if I want to call it New Year's Eve Stream-A-Thon, but that's kind of the title. But it's New Year and New Year's Day. New Year's Stream-A-Thon. Okay. So, yeah, we want to make sure everybody knows that it's going on. Okay, so let's see. COVID on the morning live, New Year's Stream-A-Thon, okay, profile. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I have pulled some different collage elements. Y'all know I like to put watches or clocks or time in my work because that's just what I like to do. I like to do time as one of my themes. Again, this is the book that I got a lot of the small images out of, Extraordinary Things to Cut Out of Collage by Maria Rivens. You can get this on Amazon. I'm not affiliate. This is not sponsored. So, yeah. All right. So I think what I'll do, let me go ahead and put a little bit of wax paper down so I'm not gluing everything to the table. Because this may look like real wood, but it's paper. So I'm going to start just by getting a couple of things glued down. And then y'all know I paint things in. So I've got some rocks. And I cut out a lot more different things than I'm probably going to need. But I just wanted to be kind of, do the be prepared thing so that I don't have to stop and cut too much out. I'm not saying I won't have to cut something out. But, all right. So I want this to be, I do have an idea. It's going to be an undersea theme. And again, this will be given away at the end of the show. So stick around. So if you're here, you can maybe win this, and international can also be in it. All right. So again, I've never used this gesso board. It's a masonite board that's been gessoed. Now, when I go to paint on it, I'll have more of a feel of it. But when I really just wanted to try these hard boards out. And here's one of the things I did like about these over the canvas panels. You can get the hard canvas panels as opposed to the stretch, the soft canvas, stretched canvas. You can get the boards that are canvas, but they're rough. I know you can sand them down in gesso to get them like this smooth, right? But I like these because they're already smooth and they're on a hard surface. So you have them already smooth. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So a couple of things when you go to collage, one of the things you want to do with your matte medium is you want to put it on your base. You want to put, and I know it's going to seem redundant, you want to put it on the back. This is a piece of a calendar. And then you want to put that down and you want to put it over the top. So I know it seems like you're putting a lot of it down, but you really do need to do all three steps. Then you can just take a gift card, Amazon, any kind of card, and you want to smooth it out. And you're going to pick up excess. You can always just kind of wipe that off, on your tray or whatever you've got your matte medium on. And you want to get out any bubbles. But if you do what I just showed you to do, put it on the base, on the back, and over the top, and mash it down, you will have no bubbles. There's no bubbles in that. Keep your baby wipes handy because any matte medium is really hard to get off your hands after it dries. So you want to kind of keep your hands clean. Okay, sipping on some juice here. Hi, Ashley, Jane. When I look up, hi, Janet. Anytime when I look up, if I see someone I haven't said good morning to, I'll try to catch you. Hi, Ray. But I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm not trying to diss on anybody. And I just, got to look away a little bit because we only have 2 hours. All right. So now I have these little torn up shell and rocks. These were from another person to get collage fodder from is Catherine Anderson on Amazon. Catherine Anderson sells collage books for you to use in your collage. And this happens to be one of her, I've already torn it up, but it had a bunch of rocks and shells, and I thought it was perfect. So I am going to go ahead and put down a layer. This is not mapped out. I don't have, I mean, I can sketch out or just, write down a little idea or something, but this is not, it's very free form, my collages. And so I'm just going to start putting it down here. And again, you want to put it on the back. It's already here on the base. Put it on the back and then over the top. So I'm going to make a little undersea. I'm going to make a little undersea world. Okay, that's the plan. This is all undersea. You can stop every now and then while you're putting little pieces down and go ahead and mash those down. And I'm loving this board. It's so smooth and soft. So I'm really liking these boards. So they may have sold me on these. No, I'm not sponsored. Not sponsored. So I just want to kind of put some layers, and I'll do a few at a time and then go back over with the card to mash them. Another thing about collage, now I did fussy cut out a lot of stuff. But if you're doing something like a landscape or a background or things that you're going to want to blend in with your paint, it's easier to blend in those collage elements if they're torn edges. Torn edges are way easier to blend in with paint than cut edges. So the fussy cutting that I've done, most of that's going to be on top, like in the forefront. But if you want to blend and do a background and all that, it's best to do it with torn edges. Nighthawk Warrior, if you have not seen my collage, we have hundreds. We have almost 1,000 videos, or maybe over 1,000 now, videos on my channel. I do have playlists. I have different playlists for the different things that we do here. And there are hundreds in the collage. I'm not sure how many. I don't really keep up with the count them, much to Pacola's chagrin, because Pacola's so good about making me, keep up with my channel. But anyway, so there's plenty of collage and abandoned altered books. Those are in there. So I'm just kind of, throwing down some landscape here for the bottom here of the under the sea. So, and let's see, let's do one more little one here. So thanks everybody for joining us for our Stream-A-Thon, our yearly Stream-A-Thon that we do every year. One more here that we do every year. And I'm not sure, Mary, if Mary's here, how many streamers? Mary streams, she streamed before me, and she's going to be the last streamer tomorrow night. But I'm not sure how many streamers all total there are on the list. All right, so I think that might be good for this. So let's go ahead and mash this down. Now watch me get done in about 30 minutes. Well, if we do, we could always do another one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up and get some of the matte medium off the edges here, because it did kind of go over the edges there. Just kind of clean up the wax paper so we're not laying it down in there. And just kind of clean it up. Now I'm going to throw this baby wipe away and get another one. You go through a lot of baby wipes because they start getting real filled with glue. Your matte medium, they start getting full of matte medium and or paint, and you don't want to just be making a big mess. All right, so now let's see. Hi, Cassie. 17 streamers, including me. Okay, yeah. Thank you, guys. So again, let me pop in. I have it on my clipboard. Let me go ahead and post in the link to all the streamers. All right. So now let's see what I want to do next. I think I want to put in some of my watch. Y'all know I love having the element of time. So do I want a little bit up here? Because I kind of have in mind what I'm going to do. I don't want to tell you because I want it to be, I want it to be. But I do have this one little door in the butterfly. So this is going to be up in the sky after a while. I probably have it over here to the side with the watch hands right here. So let me go ahead with a smaller brush, and I'm getting ready to do some painting here in a minute. So this is what we usually start with. Okay. And this is going to look down. This is like an opening right there, like a little opening dimension. Now, I'm not going to put this down yet because this will be after I put the paint down. All right, so let's mash this down. All right. I don't know if that'll be enough. Do I want any other? I got different elements of gears. So these don't have to necessarily be watch parts, but some gears in here. So I think I'm going to put a couple of gears just amongst the shells. They'll be kind of tucked in there. It'd be kind of hard to see. You have to look for them, but I like the mystery in collage. That's one of the things about collage that I love so much. Oh, let's see, that's a little too much white on that edge there. That's one of the things I love about collage is the mystery and the, what did she mean? Like let's just use Salvador Dali for an example, of surrealism. Unless you have studied Dali or somebody's told you what he means by the different elements he uses, or he told you himself what the different elements mean, you're kind of left to your own imagination and like, what did he mean there? What was that? And why did he use this element or that, and why did he put it here or there? It makes you like use your imagination. And it's like what you see in the worlds rather than what you're told is in those worlds. And that's what I like about it. I mean, sometimes I put titles to my work, or I'll tell you, well, I meant this or that. But otherwise, I just kind of like leave it up to your imagination. All right. So I have more watch parts if I need them. But I'm kind of liking that. Do I need a little, let's see. I don't know if I want a little something to stand out a little more there. Let me trim this down, get some of that white edge off there. Yeah, that needs to be there. Okay. And while it's wet, you can kind of move it around a little bit. But once you've mashed it down, there's really no peeling it back up. You're committed. You can always paint over things, though. All right, so let me move my, I think I'm done with this big brush of glue. So let me kind of clean that off. This will go back in the water that I have a little tub of water sitting over here for glue brushes. And I will just go ahead and kind of clean this off just a little till I get ready to use it again. All right, time for some more baby wipes. All right. I'll try to leave a little stack over here on the side. Oh, kind of. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a heat gun. And that's where I can kind of glance over at chat. Lynette was just saying she'd like to connect more with art journalers on Instagram. So if you are an art journaler, talk to Lynette. Share, people, share. And I'm noticing this is drying fairly. I mean, a heat gun has it drying quick anyway, but on this gesso board, it's drying really nice. I just like the feel of it. I'm going to have to get some more of these, I think. I'm liking these boards. All right, so now let me this little tray here is for the glue. Now let me get another and I just use their coffee lids. Let me see. I don't know. They're just my coffee Folgers coffee lids that I use for my acrylic paint. Now, if you're using watercolor, gouache, or anything like that, you do need a white, either porcelain or plastic palette so that you can see the paint because it's translucent. But when I use acrylic paint, I just keep piling it up, and I've got a stack of these. And so, yeah. All right, so now let's roll up the sleeves a little. And I'm going to put out the colors I pulled. All right, so I pulled some, it's honey brown. It's kind of like a golden color. It's not yellow ochre. I did pull a yellow ochre as well. Not too much difference, but a little bit. And I pulled a sienna. This is burnt orange. It's a sienna color. I have actual sienna and burnt orange, but they're like an orangey brown. Then I got a brown. This one's almost out. I had it standing up to get the last of it out. Then black. And this is sapphire. I don't want really sapphire, I don't think. I think I want colonial blue. Maybe a little of both. So I'm going to go with a little bit of colonial blue and a little bit of sapphire. Because I don't want it that dull, but I don't want it quite this bright. So those two can be mixed. And then a little bit of white. So those are the colors that I'm putting out. And of course I can always add more, or if I don't use these, then this is what you want. If you don't use all your paints that you squeeze out in a project, that's when you want to take your palette knife, which I'm going to use anyway, but that's what you want to take your palette knife and scrape up any leftover paint and scrape it into an art journal or someplace where you can keep, some extra papers, and then you can just have scrapey papers that you can later tear up and use in collage as well. Okay, so let's see what I want to do first. I think I want to have an area down here. This is going to have an area down here of stars. And y'all know a lot of time I start with just finger painting. And so I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to want down here at the bottom, there's going to be planets and stars. Don't be afraid, if you're a collage, don't be afraid to cover anything up, because you'll find that this is how you're going to meld things together. And if you're afraid you're covering something up, you're going to be too timid to go over something. So I want a nice big kind of hilly area over here. All right. I'm really liking this board. For one thing, it's nice that you can just pick it up, right? All right. So this is going to be outer space. I know it's down under the sea. And so anyway, so I'm just going to kind of get that nice and blended. And then I'm going to get some of this, like this blue-gray here. And let's just kind of get rid of all the edges. Let's just kind of get rid of the edges. Now, while the paint is wet, and because you have the matte medium on here, you can manipulate this paint. It's because you have the matte medium on here that you're able to move the paint for a while. So for instance, I just put all this paint right here. Well, if I don't like that much paint, because there's a layer of matte medium on there, I can take a baby wipe and just completely remove it. Look, right back down to the board. So that was a place where there was no paper. So you can do so much because it's coated with golden matte medium. So what I'm kind of trying to do is just make a kind of a misty little sea thing, and also kind of blending, and you can do it with the baby wipe. Let me go ahead and zoom in one more. You can manipulate things with your baby wipe or your finger and move things around. and blend and mist, and, you know, depending on what you're doing, you know, if you want it mysterious and misty or not, you know, just depends on what you're doing. So I kind of have a little idea in my head of what this I want this to look like. But, you know, you never really know. You never really know exactly how it's going to turn out. Need a little more black right there, which is for me, it's part of the fun of collage. You just never know exactly what is going to happen. All right, so now I'm going to want a base of just some nice blues in here. So I think I'll start with just picking up the two blues on my palette knife and just start putting it on here. So I'm just going to start pulling. If I get it somewhere I don't want it, I can wipe it away because of the matte medium, not because of the board, not because of the gesso. I'm going to pick up some white too. So it's real thick on here. It's white and the two blues. It's not because of the board that I'm able to maneuver all this paint. It's because of the matte medium, right? All right, so I'm just going to get a lot on here. And then I'll right up to this edge. A little more white over here. And then over here on these sides, let me go ahead and clean this off. I'm going to need another baby wipe. This is full of paint, so you don't want to be putting black paint somewhere you don't want it. So you got to go through a lot of baby wipes. So then up here, I'm going to pick up these golden colors and just kind of get up in here with that. So I'm going to put that up here on this edge, those two brown and golden colors. And then maybe a little of the dark brown in there. And then take my baby wipe and maybe maybe I'll just do it with my finger right there because I don't want to get rid of it all yet. I still want a little bit of that peeking through, but I'm just kind of blending this out. Okay, blending that in. I don't want anything on that watch right there, so let's just wipe that off. Okay, and then just kind of make this. You don't know if it's a mountain. You don't know if it's where the undersea ends and the world begins under here. And if y'all haven't seen some of my larger collages that are like poster size, they're in my playlist as well. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's relaxing like watching Bob Ross. Thanks, Nighthawk. Hi, Shauna. Shauna's another one of the streamers today. If I see the streamers here, I'll shout them out. I already shout Kathy Berg and Colleen. They come up after me. So in 2 hours, Colleen, Scrap Chick Colleen and Kathy Berg come on after me. Oh, thank you, Mary. That's so sweet. I love you, Mary. All right, so now I'm going to come down in here a little bit, and I think I'm going to put some white. And the reason I put this in my hand like this is I'm mashing it down. I'm mashing it into the baby wipe. So what I want to do is kind of, and that's a little too much paint right there. I need to kind of get a little bit of that blue off. Okay, let's get a little bit of the blue off right along that edge, because I want to put some white right along that edge, kind of like a glow. But this is full of paint now, so I got to get a fresh one. You go through a lot of baby wipes when you do this. All right, so I'm going to mash that in, and I just want to kind of soften that horizon right there. Just kind of soften it up just a little. But I still want paint on there. So I kind of go back and forth between my fingers. And I don't really want that black in there. Let's get that black out. Okay. But I want this kind of textury looking. And as the paint starts to dry, you can feel it kind of thickening up. So you can start kind of playing with it a little more. And just kind of and it takes a lot, you know, you got to practice this, and you'll get a feel for your paints. You'll start feeling them, and you know, you start to feel it. So anyway, so let's just kind of just make sure I got it right here on the edges where I want it. And I'm just wiping the things off on my baby wipe. And now I'm going to do more, you know, misty and painty things in here, but I got my base done, right? I got a base. Now let me go ahead and hit this with the heat gun. Make sure my hands are not too, yeah, I don't want to get any paint on my heat gun. Hi, Kimberly, Elaine, Mousy Deb, Adelia. It's drying pretty quick, too. On this gesso board. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hi, some Victor. Yeah, time for some dryer time. And you can see, you can tilt it and see where it might be still wet, you know. So this, let me let this set for just a minute because there's still a couple places that are a little bit damp. And I want to show you something else. And I did pull them out of, I know y'all are going to laugh. I have pulled these out of my jar. I had them in a mixed cans, not the cans, the blue one, the mixed media sketchbook. Is it a Canson mixed media? Anyway, I had them in that blue sketchbook, and then I took them out of that, and I punched rings in them, and I put them in. Y'all are gonna laugh. I took them out of the ring, out of that, and punched holes in them and put them in a 3-ring binder. Well, then I still wasn't happy with them being in a 3-ring binder, so I took them out of the 3-ring binder and just mounted them. I mean, just put them in a just a flat portfolio. So let me just kind of slide this over. We're going to take just a moment, rabbit trail, because we're doing good on time. And what I did then is now they're just individuals. They're not even in a journal. They're not in a book. They're just in a little mini portfolio. So what I want to show you here, these are art journal page fails. They did not turn out. Now, I've worked on a few of them, and I'll tell you which ones when I get to them. But these are art journal pages that did not work. So what I did is I cut them down. I cut them down in the areas that I liked. So, for instance, this was probably originally maybe a 12 by 4, 11 by 14. I don't know. It was big, right? And this is the area I liked. The whole art journal page was a fail. But I like this part. Let me kind of turn the brightness down just a little. There we go. And so what I did is just cut out all the areas that I like that I'm going to then make. Then I'm going to use these to make other paintings with, right? So these are just different art. I'm just going to flip through these quickly because now that you get the, you got you smelled what I'm stepping in, right? These are reject pages. And then what I'll do is go back and continue to work. Like I've started working in this, you can see. But then I'll rework them and turn them into a new piece because I didn't like the old piece. So, this is just a bunch of different ones that I've worked on that I didn't like, or I didn't like the whole thing. So I cut them down. So my point to you is if you have old journals, old sketchbooks, old art that you don't like, you've got maybe, half of a sketchbook or half of an art journal worked in, and you don't like half of it, you like some, you don't like it all, tear those pages out, cut them down to the section that you like. You can use a viewfinder. Let me show you an easy example of a viewfinder. Take a piece of paper and cut out 2 L's. Make it 2 L's. And then you can have a viewfinder. So you can take and put it over your art and look at it and see, do I like this? Do I like that? Do I like this? And make yourself a viewfinder so you can isolate areas and see what you like. and then cut that down to that size. So all this is 2 pieces of paper, and then you just make yourself a viewfinder, and you can select areas of your piece that you want to keep, and then cut it down. And these are they're just double-sided tape. It's just double-sided tape to these larger pieces of paper. And so I can remove them if I want, which I can easily do, and do something else with them. So these are all ones that I've deconstructed out of older art journals and put them on a new base to work on. So you can see they're all just in progress. Look, see, it's a little torn edge there. This one here. So they're just different in different stages. And so I'll just work on them whenever I want. Because in order to have a redo journal, I need to have a do journal. It's a good time to start one. It's a good time to start one, Helen. Oh my gosh. Okay, so oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. So they're just in different, I know I'm really zoomed in, so some of these larger ones, it's a little hard to see the whole thing, but so now this one is done. I did remount it. I did have some little color swatches on the side, but I wanted it remounted on this size paper, so I did I foregone. Anyway, the little swatches are gone. So these are just some of the ones that are in different stages, and this is the idea that you can use when you have an art journal page, or not even have to be a page. It could just be an individual piece. You've done an individual piece and you don't like it, then cut it down and rework it. If nothing else, it's good practice. Then I can take this and do something with it. Like I'm going to use this little door on this piece, but look, you can just start playing around and reworking the piece. We did this one last week. I think we started adding an undersea theme on here. This was just a mixed media painty page that I had, and that was all that was on there. So I started adding the little sea elements. So it's just a way for you to, this is just paper, Susan. What paper is it? I'd say it's probably a mixed media. It's a mixed media paper. It's nothing special. It's not like heavy cardstock or anything. You can put it on anything, You could put it on just, office cardstock. Office weight cardstock if you want. Now, this is a little bigger than 8 by 10. I think this is 11 by, I'm not sure, 12 by. Anyway, it's bigger than 8.5 by 11. So, it's out of a sketchbook, paper out of a sketchbook, a spiral bound of some kind. So these are a little bigger, but if you're cutting down pieces that are smaller, just mount them onto, cardstock. Just to have something to put it on, because you're cutting down. Remember, these are cut down from large pieces. They're cut down from large pieces. Here's one we worked on. We worked on this one, I think, last week. And, again, they're all in different stages. And I just picked the area that I liked. These two were side by side in the book. So these two, we worked on these simultaneously. So I really like these. Painted in the water, the little rocks, the stars, the nebulization in the sky, the stars, the water, the waves. That's all put in with paint. So you can just continuously add on. So that's what all these are, just different stages of completion. All right, so let's put them away and let's get back to our piece today. Thanks, Arlene, for coming by. Sleep well. Hi, Annie Mame. Devin, hi. Shelly, I said hi to Kalora. Scooby, hi, Scoobs. All right, so now I'll slide this back over. This is the one we're working on today. And I am giving it away at the end of the show, whether I finish it or not, which I'm going to finish it. We have an hour. I'll say, yeah, we're going to finish. I want to do it, but I do want to have time to do the giveaway. So, all right. So the next thing I want to do now that this is, I think it's pretty dry everywhere, is start doing some of the details. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is work down here in my outer space section, which y'all know I like to throw a bucket of stars. So I just take a little, I have all different kind of little caps, little juice lids and all that. So I'm going to put a little bit of white paint in here and I'm going to water it down. So let me get my little spray bottle. This is just acrylic paint. And this is usually the only time I water anything down. I do mash the baby wipe into my hand for mist and clouds. You know, like when I did this softness here, I'll thin it down in the baby wipe. But this is the only time I really like it really watered down, because that way it's inky and can. Let me reach over here and let me find a brush. I want one of my floppy brushes. Hang on, I got to go around the other side. Digging around. I want something. Here we go. I want one of these. I like these old calligraphy brushes that are real floppy. They're real, you know, I don't paint with them. I mean, you can do the Chinese calligraphy with them, but they're real soft, so that when you mix up your paint and water it down, it's very, you know, very inky. Now, when you go to do this, make sure you tap off the excess here. Otherwise, you're going to have big blobs. So get rid of almost all the paint that you can tap off into the little bucket, and then come over here, and I'm going to start making some stars. See, that's too big. So I'll just wipe it off. I need my baby wipe. Here we go. Tap off a little more. And what I want to do is I want this to be stars, and then it leads up into undersea foam. But down in here, it's going to be outer space. I'm going to put some planets, some stars, some color pencil nebulization down in here. All right, so I'm going to come up here, keep tapping. And the more you tap it, the smaller they get. Okay. Now remember, I'm going to want this to look like undersea and sky. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit real light taps up here. Okay. The bigger ones are going to be down here in the nebula. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. You can always add more with Posca. Let me show you what that is. Leave my brush here. So you can always add more. Do a little. A Posca paint pen. It's acrylic paint in a pen. And they have different size nibs. This is a kind of a larger one. And this one, I hope this one even works. I have another one here. Let me get the center one. So if you don't have a stars or splatter or exactly where you want it, you know, you can always go in there and add more little ones, or draw in a shooting star, which I'll have that in a little bit. So you can add other things. Okay. All right. And thank you all the lurkers that are here too. All right. Now let me dry this. It does take a minute. It's not dry. All those stars are not dry yet, but I'll just be careful for a minute. Of course, if you smear one, you can just paint it out, or, you know. All right. So one thing I do want, I want more of a watch face right in there. So let me just see what I have sitting over here. Do I want that one? I just want more of a watch face. No, neither one of those. Let me find another piece right there. Because I know that's where the watch hands are going to come out of. And it doesn't look enough. It's mechanical, but it doesn't have the watch face that I want. So let me kind of dig through here and look through a magazine and some different options. Magazines, calendars, just a little everything. That one's too big. Just need a little piece of a watch. A little piece of a watch. Okay, I like this one. All right. All right, so let me get my scissors and cut real quick. Thanks, Pacola. Yeah, I stream every I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and I start off a little early to, like what she just said, adjust settings, chat with the friends in the box. Mary, thank you so much for the super sticker. You're so sweet, Mary. You have to do that, Mary. So thank you. And I'm going to go back and watch. Mary made an awesome list of all the different projects she's going to do in her Society of Idea Collector next year. And she made some awesome lists, some things that I want to think about myself. Thank you so much, Mary, for the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. I wrote you down. You're going to be getting a print. Thank you so much, Mary. Let's see. I know. That's so sweet. Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. I bought me a new ring light. With your support. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut just a little bit of something that's just a little bit more watch face-esque. It's not the watch face. It's just one of the jeweled movements, part of the watch. But it looks more, it just has more of a emphasis that's going to be a watch. Hands are going to come out of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up a little bit of my matte medium on my finger and go ahead and just put that down here with the matte medium. So you can always add things, right? You can always add things and change things, paint over things. So now let me dry that. Let's make sure the stars are dry. Now, if I want any more of this to be softer, which I do, and you always want to try to have as much of your background done before you start adding your little elements on here. Okay, because I'm going to build a little city, a little world. I'm going to have all this stuff going on. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff cut out here. And I don't know that I'll use it all, what parts I'll use, but I did kind of come prepared today with some fussy cutting. So y'all don't have to watch me fussy cut. Most of the time when I'm doing these collages, and it is kind of on the fly. I did have an idea what I want to do, but I did go ahead and fussy cut a bunch of stuff out so that y'all didn't have to sit and watch me fussy cut because we only have 2 hours today. All right, so now I'm going to get a clean spot on the baby wipe here, and I'm going to go into my thick white paint. And I'm going to mash it into the baby wipe. I know that looks, but I'm mashing it into the baby wipe. And now I'm going to come in here and soften some of this. I might need a little bit more. And I'm going to soften this up all the way to the edges. So it looks like it's cohesive, that it not just stops right here, like right here. I don't want this to just stop right there. And you can manipulate your little clouds, your waves, your water, whatever you want it to be, and then dry it. You can dry it and then go back and add some more layers. So I just want a little bit of softness in here with this kind of textury parts. And I can soften that out just a little so it's not real crunchy looking. It's a little softer. Okay, so you can go in here and manipulate. Now, you don't have to do it with the baby wipe. You can do it with the brush if you're more comfortable with the brush. But I can come in here with my finger and just kind of move the clouds, waves, water, whatever part you want to call it, and whatever part you see, and you can smooth it, and just kind of play with it. Okay. It's your world, like Bob Ross says. It's your world. You can do what you want, right? Now I could do some wispy stuff if I wanted. I don't know if I want to yet because I'm going to add these other things like some doors and some other things here. But you can kind of wisp up, and make it like I'll do some wave work down here or some like little waterfall type thing like this. So you can go against the grain, so to speak. See, you can go against the grain. I don't want to add too much of this yet because I'm not done with the background of the nebula here. But you can, this will be like a waterfall coming across the, what do you call it, sky here. Okay. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right. Okay. So let's just stop on that for a minute. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove. Let me get a clean baby wipe because I just put paint back down on there. Remove a little bit of it until I get some of my planets and stuff done down there because I don't want that to cover that up yet. Thank you, Devin. Thank you so much for the Canadian super chat. Thank you so much, Devin. I appreciate that, the super sticker. Thank you so much. And I have my little Post-it notes and my little pen handy right here. So I write y'all down so that you go into my thank you print. The first, normally it would be like next week, but because of the holidays and everything, it might be, let's see, maybe it'll be next week or the beginning of the week after when I send out my thank you prints. So thanks so much, guys, for supporting the channel. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I know. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Now let me go ahead and hit it with the heat gun one more time. So I started these clouds and wave thing here with just the rough texture of a palette knife, but you don't have to leave it like that. Let me get a smaller brush. You can come in here, if you want something like even smaller than like my fingers can get, and you want tinier little areas of like clouds or wisp, and you can take your time. I'm trying to get this done and still have it look good in 2 hours, but if there's any little touch-ups or anything, I really want to try to get it done before the giveaway. But if I don't, just know that I'll continue to finish it up. And then, thank you, Sherry Bug, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And also, guys, make sure you email me your address. If you did not receive a print last month, make sure you email me your address this month, because especially people move, or I may not have your address. And so if you want a print, a hard copy print sent to you, I have to have your address. So thank you, Sherry Bug, for the $2.99 super sticker. I appreciate it. I wrote it down. And also let it be known, I do not share your addresses with anybody, not even the other mods. So, and I don't put you on an email list. Hi, Joey. Hi, Emily. I know I'm missing people coming in, not trying to, but I do have to kind of look down here to work on this. So I'm just going to kind of add just a little bit of extra fluffiness to some of these, and as I'm working here, because you have to have your background done before you start doing things that are on top. You don't want to have to try to paint around little items that, sometimes you do paint around them because you're trying to blend them in, but you don't want to have to put collage items on top of this and then start having to fussy paint around it, because you're going to get frustrated if you have to do that. Hi, Terry Brett. Well, welcome, longtime lurker. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so let me clean my little brush here. All right. So again, some of the collage items that I've pulled here to work with. And I got this, and I got a girl over here. I'm not going to show you yet. I kind of saved her for last, like a little, I don't put a lot of people in my collages, and I may or may not put her in. We'll see how it goes. But a lot of, people like to see people. People love people. Anyway, they like to see people. But this is a book that I pulled most of the small things out of. Things to cut out in collage. And then some of these texture rock and shell textures I got out of Catherine Anderson, her collage books. Okay. All right. So now I want to kind of decide some elements and where I want them. So this is where I've got all my little things. Like one of the things that I really wanted to do was have a butterfly, this butterfly coming out of a door like the new year, right? So this is kind of my new year door, starting the new year. So I'm going to have to consider where I want to put this. I don't want it centered. Of course, I want it off center. But because I'm going to have watch hands coming from here to here and here to here, I've got to consider the watch hands are going to be here where this is going to be. Now, the watch hands I can go stop and over and, but I got to consider the kind of the composition of where that's going to be. So because I know, let me just get a couple of paint brushes to show you. Let's use these as watch hands for a minute because I'm not going to draw them on yet. But I'm going to have watch hands coming from there to there and from there to there, somewhere down in here, something like that. So the watch hands are going to come down like this. So I've got to kind of consider that when I start laying out my collage elements, right? I could leave this here just for a minute so you can kind of remind you of that's where they are. But I have this girl cut out that I really liked. And I will, if I do use her, though, I will paint her in, like her clothes and stuff. But I liked her sitting on this little, is that a sorrel mushroom? Is that a sorrel? I'm not sure. I'm not real familiar with my mushrooms. And regardless of where I put her, see, I really kind of like her here, but then that doesn't work for me as far as this. So this might have to be behind her. So you got to just kind of manipulate your what you're going to use, something maybe like that. She's kind of looking to the future, or the future's looking at her. As a matter of fact, I think this butterfly wing is a little too big, so I'm just going to cut it down. Don't be afraid to change your images if they don't work for you. So I'm going to cut that butterfly wing down and maybe have it come in something like that. Okay. So you can see how you really want the background finished before you start putting this stuff down. And again, I've got to remember I want that watch hand to come. It can come across her body if I want it to, or it can come like through here under her and back out, but the watch hand is going to be right there. So as long as it's not over her face, I don't mind the watch hand going across her body, but I wouldn't want it cutting across her face, right? Because this is where the watch hands are going to be. Something like in there. I could have it go there, but I don't want it straight down, so I'm going to angle it to there. So, y'all still with the tour? So I am kind of liking this right there. That dark blue is kind of bothering me. It might need to come down just a little. No, maybe not. Maybe that blue's okay. So you got to consider everything. Of course, you can always paint over things. I can add mist. I can add clouds. I can add all kinds of things, right, coming across. Now this watch hand's going to end right in here somewhere. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to go off this. Yeah, I could have it go off, but I think I want it to end right there in those mechanics. And same for this. So I have different pieces. I do have other pieces of watch I can use if I want to. I think this is going to, don't need that. But one of the other things I wanted to add in the background was the city and shells, city of shells. And so that you could kind of get the idea she was underwater. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of play with this. Now that I know where the watch hands are going to be, I'm going to want to try to build in my buildings. But I don't want just buildings. I'm going to want some shells to look like towers. And I want one of my planets to be over here. I think it'll need to be right about there. Okay, so these are all things I've got to glue down. I have another little small piece of a building here. I might not need that. Not there anyway. Maybe down here. So I have just little pieces of cities, and I may not even need this. I think I'll cut this in half, actually. Just maybe a little bit less. Okay. And you have to kind of look through, you'll have to be looking in there to see things. But I want some of these shells, just like I have these tall buildings, I'm going to want shells to be some of the spires. Is that what they are? The spires. So let me see what I got cut out here. And I got some fish. Where's another one of those small shells? Here's a little seashell. I mean, a little starfish. Don't know how. I kind of want it almost into there like that. Yes, building sandcastles, Jane. Exactly. All right, so let's see. I have a couple more small ones here. That'll be way back in the back. I want it this way. That's too white right there. So I'm going to have to take a brush and either paint that out or mist over it. But that needs to be gone. That's too white right there. It's same for right there. So I'm just going to, I haven't glued it down yet. I'm just going to kind of show you where it's going to be like this. With a little building there. And then this rock right here is too prominent in the composition. So it needs to go. Let me clean my brush. Just smaller little rocks. You can add little details. You can get rid of details. Let me move that shell a minute. And then after I glue these down, I can set them in with some more rocks if I need to. Need a little bit of white right there, just a tiny bit. So I'll wait till I glue these down. Then I'll go in here and add some of this little tiny bits of detail. Okay, but I want these shells to also be like the spires. Do I want a bigger one back? Maybe I want one up here, and that one can be further back. Something like this. These are, I don't want it to be too, it's got to look farther away. So maybe we'll bring it down right to there. See where it's going, y'all? All right, so if I want something closer here, it's going to have to be bigger. And you don't have to use the whole thing. You can, let's just, can cut some off if you want. If I want to, maybe put this, I don't think I need 4. But you see what I'm saying? You can move things around. You can make it. But I don't really want to just distract from this because that's going to have the watch hand right there. So that's probably enough right there. Maybe one way far away back in here. I could take just a little top of a shell here. I could take one of these little top off of a shell. Don't be afraid to cut these things up and use them how you want. Like that. Actually, it's a little big. It needs to be a little smaller. So I'm just going to cut it down to a smaller shell so that it looks smaller. And there's almost like a little path there. A little path could come through here with a little bit of a waterfall. What do y'all think so far? Hi, preppy crafty girl. Hi, Donna. How you doing? So, okay, so there's that. And I think I'm going to paint some more little rocks right in some of that area. Because you don't have to, it doesn't have to all be collage. It can be painted things as well. The other thing that I'm thinking is I want some either fish and or shells coming down. So like this is going to be too perfectly shelled. So I'm going to cut that off so it looks like it's coming from behind there. Plus I can put another like misty layer or something, but I'm not sure if that's exactly where I want it. It needs to almost be into here. So it's kind of part of that little bit right there, but it's still too much. So I'm going to cut it down even a little more. And so it's kind of right there, kind of part of that. So you just build your world and you can put as much or as little as you want. Oh no, you can't find your phone. It's on silent. Oh my gosh. You want me to call you, sister woman? After the stream, you want me? Oh, it's on silent. I was going to say I could call you, but you got it on silent. All right. So then I also have these other kind of mushroom things, which to me look like coral. So, you know, you just kind of play around. This is a little too big here. So, but I do kind of want some color in my sky here, in my space. So I'll do that with color pencil. All right. So I also did a couple other things. I thought, you know, maybe I want this chair in there, but now that I have her big body in there, I don't want the chair. But I pulled this chair and this mushroom. So this will go in another collage. But look how cute that is. look how cute that is. The mushroom and the little chair. And you could have these other mushrooms as a part of the composition. What else did I pull? You know, and I also have these other watches. Like I've used half watches like this before as mushrooms. I used it in my Tweedledee and Tweedledum upside down world, and I've used half watches and then just put a stem on them and made it like a mushroom. So see, you can do all kinds of things like this. A mushroom reading light, yeah. See. So, but I'm not going to use that on here because I'm already starting to get the story going here, right? But do I want anything else? I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this. Go with this gluing. So I'm going to move my my watch hands off here for a minute. And I'm going to just take my finger into the glue here, into my matte medium, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the back here. Now, remember, this is all acrylic paint. People have asked me, well, can you use watercolor? Can you use gouache? Can you use Neocolor? Well, you can't do that if you're going to be putting, matte medium over the top of it, because it'll move, right? Watercolor, any water-based things, they're going to move. So you got to be careful of that. Now, this is kind of gentle there, so I want to be careful with my mashing. You know, you take your time and don't tear your elements, right? Okay, so the same thing for her. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put her down. So I'm going to go ahead and put some matte medium all right in here where she's going to be sitting. I'm going to put some all over the back. And I already glued the little watch around her head like a little helmet or a halo, and that little star. I added all that earlier. So let's see, do I want to put it there? But take your time when you're doing this. And then I'm going to add this little sorrel mushroom right here, right under her little body right there. And then a little piece of this, all these little building areas. Okay. Make sure I got them lined up like I want. Okay. And she's got a little wrinkle in her leg. Try to get that wrinkle out of her leg. Oh, got a little wrinkle in her leg. Okay, so let me come over here. Let's get all this glued down here, guys. I'm not looking at chat, just a minute. Still has a little wrinkle in her leg, but I can mash it out. It's like a bubble. She has a bubble leg. I think I got it out. She had a little air bubble under there. Okay, there we go. Hi, Towel. Anybody else? Christine. Hi, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. Good to see you. Good to see you. Anybody else I missed? All right, so now let's go ahead and let me hit this with the heat gun. Oh, there's a shell. I forgot about this shell here. Let's go ahead and put that down. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, so now this is where this is my favorite part, is adding the painty and the painty pencil details. Let me get my pencils here. I only need a couple, but let me grab them. Okay, so my pencils in my silverware tray, or as Denise used to call them, my crap pencils, because they're not in a case, and my other pencils are in cases. It's a running joke. Okay, so now I'm going to get maybe some blue, some orange, some white, and I'm going to add a little bit more detail down here in my stars. So the first thing I want to do is add some pencil. And I can do this because it's matte medium. There's matte medium. Now I can also do it with paint, but I like to show that you can do it with pencil. So I'm going to add a little bit of nebulization down here, a little bit of orange here, maybe just a little bit of orange over here. It's very subtle. And then maybe some glow around the, I'm imagining this to be earth. Very soft, and you can go back over it with paint, or you can do it with the baby wipe and make it very soft. Okay, and then maybe an orange planet, maybe right in here. So now let's do this. Let's go around a couple of these stars. And then if you want the stars bigger or smaller, again, you can use your Posca paint pen, you know. Let's just soften this up a little. Let's go a little more angle with this. Trying to keep it kind of on the same angle as that. Maybe a little white. And then you can also go in there with more paint. Just a little something going on there. You can go in here with the so you just do all kinds of things. I don't want to get this too defined here because I'm going to do my what do you call it? My watch hands. And if this looks weird when I get down to here, then I'll remove some of that line right there. Also, if you get too much, like especially here in the stars, I can go back in here with black and kind of knock some of it back. And put some more glow around some of these little stars here. So you can just play with it. Hi. Oh, thank you, Raquel. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Make sure you send me your address, Raquel, so I can send you a printout. Okay. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. You all guys are just so awesome with the channel. Thank you so much. And don't forget, guys, again, let me go ahead and post this. Here is the list of all the streamers today and tomorrow. That's a Google Doc that Mary made with links. Thank you so much. Yeah, and there you go. Piccolo is saying, I'll be passing the Stream-A-Thon banner to Kathy Berg and Colleen. So that link that I just put down, that I just clicked in there, that has a list to all the streamers and their times, all their times. It goes all day today. And it goes all day tomorrow. All right, so up in here, I'm thinking I might want maybe just a little bit more orange in here. A little bit dark, just a little hint of more orange up in there. And you can do this with paint too. I just like to show that you can do it with both. And I think I'm going to need to put a watch hand because I know I want a couple of star shines in here, but I'm not sure where yet. Let me move my pencil tray. Set it over here. All right, so let's see. Let's go back in with my little brush. All right. Oh, I did have this other little piece of a building that I didn't use. Okay. What else did I have here? Oh, that's a cut-off shell. All right, so now I'm going to come back in here, and here's where I can add some more details. Okay. And I do want to, at 10:15 and 10 minutes, in 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to do the giveaway. Okay. I'm giving this away. All right. So I will take a picture of it and post it, but it will come to whoever. And also that includes international. I think I'm going to want a couple little antennas on this. Just a little bit of antenna on this butterfly. And I'm going to go back over it with orange after this white Posca dries. I'll go back over that with a orange pencil so it's not so bright antenna, but I want his antenna to show. So let's Not that down there. So I'll go back over it with orange in a minute. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put in my watch hands. If I have to paint over them and need them put back in, I'll just put them back in. I'll paint them back in. But let me get a ruler here. So I'm going to want it to go from right there to right there. Okay, so do I want it to go behind the sorrel mushroom? I'm going to start with that. Let's see. I'm going to want it to go behind the mushroom for a minute, but over her. Once I get it lined in there, oops, it didn't quite work right there. Didn't finish painting it in. And then I can go in and thicken it myself now that I have the direct line. So I'm going to want that. I think I want it to cut through the mushroom, like right there. All right, and you can't always see it yet, but I want it kind of light for a minute. And then maybe I want this to come down to right there. We'll have it go behind this shell. Is that showing up? Did I go over that? Yeah. And then I'll have a star shine right here. No, I'm not going to like the way that cuts. So let's not have that. Hang on. Sometimes you just can't tell what it's going to look like till you put it in. I'm not going to want this to cut in. So, not like that anyway. I'm going to want this to come across. So let's go ahead, and for now, I think I want to remove this light right here in the planet. So let's just go ahead and take that out for a minute. You can always add it back. Let's put a little more of a glow on this side. This. Okay. And let's get the paint. Just a little bit of paint right there. Let's paint that in. You can always put it back. But I want to make sure that my watch hand is the more prominent than that. Okay. All right, let me dry this. And I'm thinking I almost don't want it right there. Do I want it to end right there? Okay, y'all gonna don't be saying, oh my gosh, she's gonna change it all up. But I am changing something because I see what I want to do. Let me get my brush here. Okay, so I am going to come in here and I'm going to remove this watch hand from right in here. Hang on, guys. Let me just kind of paint it out. Oops, I didn't mean to get black. Didn't mean to pick up black right there. Hang on. Just had some on my brush. Let me clean my brush. I want this watch hand not to be there. It's going to go a different direction. So we've got to paint that out. Get into the gray, a little bit of the gray. And a little bit of the blue. A little more blue in here. Hang on, guys. I got to fix it because I know where I want it to go. I'm not looking at chat. Just a second. You got to get it just where you want it. All right, so I need a little bit more light coming, a little bit more cloudish kind of stuff coming right over that edge. Kind of knock it back into the background there a little bit. A little misty. Like that. Maybe a little bit more right in here. All right, now let me fix this butterfly. I want the little butterfly to have a little antenna, but I don't want it coming down into there. So let's get rid of that. Put a little tiny bit of black right in there. Let's make it just a little shorter. Make that antenna just a little shorter. And now let's get a smaller brush and maybe make this door just a little bit more. All right, let's get some gray. Let's blend, let's make this door look like it's all part of the wood. I just wanted to bring it down just a little. So just paint it in myself. Dee Dee, I can practically hear your creative was. Well, I do talk out loud. So when I do talk out loud, whatever I'm thinking and I tell y'all that, I'm telling you what I'm thinking. Now, when I'm by myself, I am not talking out loud. But what I'm saying to you right now, that is what I am thinking, right? All right, so I just want a little bit of something coming off of here, like maybe a little bit of a branchy area right there. And then of course I have to highlight that. So let's go ahead and let me turn it just a minute and just put a little bit of light on that. Just a little something like the door is just knocked back. And the door's knocking. Just a little bit right there. Something like that. Just so it's kind of peeking out from behind that. And I might even add just a little bit more of that dark kind of right in there. See, this is the kind of thing that I like. This is my favorite part of doing these mixed media collages is these details. This is my favorite thing to do with them, but it also takes the longest. So, that is one of the things about it. Oh, thanks, Nighthawk. All right, so let's see. I need a little bit something else over on this side. It needs just a little bit more something over in here. And this is too white right in there. So this needs to be knocked back a little too. Just needs a little bit of, so it's not pure white right there. There we go. That's better. Just a little knocking it back. All right. So now let me hit it with the heat gun so all these little bits are dry. I got to get crack-a-whack in here because we're going to run out of time. So what I want this to do is come over here. I want this to hit right in. Do I want it right in there or do I want it at the top? I guess it needs to be at the top. I mean, because that's where it would be. If it was some kind of a lighthouse thing, it would be right there on the top. All right, so now let me go ahead and do a couple details, and then I want to work a little bit more down in here. Oops, sorry. I want to work a little bit more down in here. So I'm going to get my watch hands in here and put a little shadow on them. But yeah, I talk it out because I just so y'all know what I'm thinking when I'm doing it. Although I'm not really telling you everything what the meaning of everything is, but I'm telling you what I'm thinking as far as, actually that should probably come to there, shouldn't it? Wouldn't that look better if that was on that one? Even though this one's kind of more this way. I think I think compositionally it needs to be right there, doesn't it? All right. Well, you know what? Let's do all three. There we go. All right. I like the three too. All right. So now I'm going to get in here with a little bit, with a couple of minutes that I have left. Let me go ahead and put my glue brush back in the water so it doesn't harden up there. And remember, I'm not going to do it now because it's going to need to set like probably a couple hours to make sure it's 100% dry before I put my varnish on. But this is the varnish I'll be using, the Ceramcoat Delta Gloss Interior Exterior Water-Based Varnish. Okay. All right. So let's see. This needs to come. Oops. Come back here, brush. This needs to have a little bit more bend. This needs a little bit more of a bend right in here. It needs like it needs a bend. Let me just get a tiny bit of my paint starting to. If you let your paint sit out for a couple hours, it's going to start to crust over. You'll get a crust over the top. So let's go ahead and do this. So you might have to kind of just get enough water to get it moving again. Something like that. And then just touch maybe a little tiny bit of the yellow ochre color right in here. All right. Now, let me get my blue. I need a darker blue. Let me see. Pencils. I think I just need a little bit darker blue. Put just a tiny bit of a. Let me sharpen. I don't want to try to, cut corners. It needs to be sharpened. And I wanted to do her bathing suit. I wanted to do her bathing suit with a touch of color as well. I don't mind her being kind of gray because there's a lot of gray in here, which, by the way, let me do another sidebar. Oh, not that brush. Where's the other brush? Here it is. I want to come down in here with some of my gray and blue and white. And I'm going to want to do a couple little, let's do it darker. I'm going to want a couple extra little rock areas in here. Just a couple little areas. So kind of set some of these down. That's too much. Let's go darker. Darker. There we go. Shh. Just to have a little more texture and interest back in here. You can add a couple different colors, some of the yellow, some of the orange. Just having it so that there's just a little bit more landscape back in there. Just wherever you think you need some. Okay, maybe a little bit more orangey on this nebula thing that I did right here. Need a little bit more. And I think it needs it some right here too. I'll go back with the blue. All right, so let me, while I'm finishing this up, let me tell you how the giveaway works. Don't put any numbers in yet. Don't put in any numbers. So how the giveaway works is when I type in go, put in a number between 1 and 100. It doesn't matter if there's 500 people here. That doesn't matter because it's going to be the first person closest. And internationals can also do this today. I will pay the extra shipping, whatever that is, for today, since it's New Year's Stream-A-Thon. Don't put any numbers in yet. I'm still telling you all the rules. So you'll put in one number between 1 and 100. The first person closest to whatever random.org. Is that somebody? Oh, wait. Yes, Janet's telling me giveaway time. Thank you, Janet. The first person closest without going over will win this. And I'm going to still add probably a few more details over the next little bit of time. I'm not going to 100% finish it right here while we're talking. So I don't want to have to rush it, and I didn't figure that I could 100% complete it by the end of the show, but I'll keep working on it until 10:30. So let me get my random.org on the phone. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, time to put the meatloaf in the oven. And the girl that won the color book, I did see it. I didn't see it didn't see it yesterday on my show, but I was scrolled back through my chat. And she said, "Thanks for the meat," because I told her I'd give her my mom's meatloaf recipe, which I did. I wrote out the recipe to her, and she said, "Thanks for the color book and the recipe." All right, so I'm going to get into random.org. Now, the other thing is, guys, one number only. I cannot stress this enough. If you put in 5, 10 numbers, the mods are going to disqualify you. Also, make sure you have live chat. At the top of your chat, you're going to see live chat and top chat. Make sure you have live chat selected. It's not going to matter as far as who wins, but it's going to matter what you see. You may not see other people's numbers being put in, and you're going to say, "Oh, well, my number was there first." Well, do you have on live chat or do you have on top chat? Make sure, guys, I can't stress that enough. Make sure you have live chat selected. Okay. Wait till I type in go. One number only between 1 and 100. Yeah. There you go. 1 to 100. Because it doesn't matter if we had 500 people here, which we have almost 300. But it's the first person that gets it right. So it doesn't matter how many people are here. All right. Now be thinking of your number. Don't put any in until you see the word go from me. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. And then I've got my random.org, and we'll put in a number here after everybody's done. We're going to generate a number after everybody puts in a number. Okay. Don't dilly-dally. Don't dawdle. Don't lollygag. Get your numbers in so that you, just one number only. Okay. So, and I'll give you all just 30 seconds or so, and I'm going to count down, and then, yeah. This is my last piece for 2020. The last piece for 2020. So I'm putting a little orange highlight on the top. All right, I'm going to count down, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're changing your numbers, it's not going to count, guys. It's only the first number. You can't be changing, and don't be doing that. They're going to just disqualify you. The mods are in charge. Okay, here we go. That's it. No more numbers. 40. The first person closest, either right on 40 or the first person closest without going over. First person closest without going over. And I'll give everybody a minute to go look. Let my mods, yeah. That some of y'all are getting disqualified for not following the rules. So the first person either on 40 or the closest to 40 without going over. And I'll look up here in just a second. Okay, so I think she needs a little bit, maybe a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow in her. I don't want to make it bright yellow, but I just want a little touch of yellow in her outfit here. Okay. Adventure sibling, you know, yeah, you're going in timeout, hon. I'm sorry. You've gone into timeout. All right, let's see. Who do we have? Do we have a winner? Who's the closest to 40 without going over? Likia had 39. I'm going to wait on my mods to confirm whatever you guys are saying. I'm going to let them confirm. Give them a minute, guys. Give them a minute. Thank you, Maya. All right, I'm waiting to see. Okay. Did somebody have Terry at 38? Is there a Likia that had 39? Who is did somebody see that? I'm just seeing what Adelia is putting in. Adelia is saying Likia had 39. Okay, so there we go. It looks like it's Likia. Likia 13. She has 39. Oh, she was after the stop. Okay, then that doesn't count, guys. That doesn't count if you didn't get it in time because, sorry, you have to have it. Yeah, you have to have it in before. So is it Terry? Is it Terry Bratt, 38? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for my, yeah, you have to do it before the stop or it doesn't count. That's the rules, guys. You know, we have our rules. So is it Terry? Okay, so it looks like it's Terry Bratt with 38, according to Bacola. So Terry, email me your address. Here you go. Okay, there's my address, my email. Email me. Let me write this down. Terry Bratt. Where's my pen? Here we go. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Here it is. Okay. So Terry Bratt had 38. Okay. Congratulations, Terry. So email me. That's okay. That's all right, Julie. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to delete their comments and putting in new ones. Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let the mods. So congratulations, Terry. I don't know. I haven't seen her say something yet. So Terry Bratt, you have won the collage. Okay, I will finish it up. There you go. She saw it. You're welcome. So email. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, I'm so glad a new person won. I'm going to finish it up. And yeah, so congratulations. Email me again, Terry. Here is my email. If you didn't get it, grab my email there. And I'm sure Pacola put it in there too. Grab my email and send, and I don't share your addresses with anybody. So Send me your address and you will get this. And so I'm so glad everybody. Yeah, there you go. Everybody's telling her congrats. So I will finish this up. We have about 1 minute till Kathy and Colleen. Let me go ahead and post again one more last time. Here's the Google Doc for all the streamers today. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll finish it up. I'll post a picture of it on IG and in Twitter and whatnot. And so congratulations, Terry. And I hope y'all enjoy this. I hope y'all are enjoying the live streams. Thank you, Mary, for doing this, hosting it this year and putting it all together. And Happy New Year to everybody. And I will see you over at Kathy and Colleen's, the link. If Pacola hasn't put the direct link in there yet, okay, there we go. Pacola put it in there. There's the next link. It's also a direct link. It's also a direct link in my doc that I just posted, Mary's Google Doc. All right, guys, we'll see you over there, and y'all have a blessed New Year. And yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. You too. And we'll see you at the next streamer. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations, Terry. Bye-bye.